You're listening to the Precision Shooting Podcast, discussing all aspects of precision and long-range rifle shooting. This episode is brought to you by Impact Dynamics. And now, over to your hosts.
Well, hello and welcome to the Precision Shooting Podcast. My name is Rusty and I am joined by an absolute motley crew tonight for episode number 113. Joining me tonight is the only person to have broken into song on the Precision Shooting Podcast. To my right, Dutchy. How are you?
I'm well.
Welcome back. Any songs tonight?
I was going to try and bust into a bit of Willie Nelson, but,
Okay.
I got nothing planned.
All right, well, we'll see what that holds for us. Also got the man who made his podcast debut in front of a live audience and most importantly lived to tell the tale. Andy, how are you?
I'm good, thanks, Rusty.
Excellent, mate. You shot the PRS the other week, and we'll talk about that shortly.
Yeah, cool.
And also, sitting across from me, he's spent more time in New Zealand recently than the vegan protesters have spent earning a living. Bronte, how you going?
Yeah, very well. And yourself, Rusty?
Going all right, mate. Going all right. You shot a comp on the weekend.
Yes, the first one in quite some time, so it was good to get back in the saddle, so to speak.
That doesn't happen very often.
A bit of a rare occurrence these days.
Very good. Dutchy, last time you went shooting, mate?
It's, I believe, still the same one as the last one I mentioned on my previous appearance. So I've been busy.
Yeah. Shooting.
Yeah.
Yep. Avoiding it.
I've organised my ammunition box. I've colour-coded everything now.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
It was a good way. OCD all the way.
Yeah.
It's amazing what you can do when you are not shooting and spending time organising. Excellent. And Andy, I don't even remember if we saw you on the weekend.
No,
No.
I wasn't up there last weekend. No.
Yeah, not shooting on the weekend, but Bronte and I shot comps. I shot Saturday, rimfire comp in our club, and Bronte shot on Sunday. We should say three of us, and soon to be four of us, are all members of the same club, which means we often shoot together, or at least watch each other shoot.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a good opportunity for the guys here at SA to be able to get together and shoot on a pretty regular basis, because obviously finding places to shoot is always a challenge, unless you sort of know someone or have your own land. Especially for the style of shooting we all enjoy, it's difficult to find places.
Well, actually, I met a guy today. I went and picked up a hire car, which is an entirely another story, which we probably won't get into, but we may do. And I was chatting to the guy, and he saw the company name that I hired under, and he went, "Is that to do with guns?" I said, "Absolutely, it is, of course." Anyway, we started talking about it, and he's like, "Oh, do you know anywhere to go trap shooting?" I'm like, "Yeah, trap shooting is kind of cool, it's like it was 1990, but what you want to do is practical rifle stuff." And he was, I played him a video of Jim from Low Viz running a tripod stage in at the PRS in Mildura, and he's like, "Yeah, I'd like to try that. That looks awesome. I'll So I'm gonna, when I drop the car back off, I'm gonna drop him some details of the club.
Nice one.
We're talking about practical shooting SA, by the way, and yeah. So how was that centerfire comp for you, Bronte, on the weekend?
It was good fun. Yeah, as I said, it's the first time I've shot in a match for quite some time. Definitely a bit rusty, pardon the pun.
Well done. Well played.
Yeah, you got to sleep one in there every now and then. Bit slower than I used to be, but it's one of those things, I think, just a bit more regular occurrences, a bit more time on the bolt, and we'll remember what he used to do.
Yeah, back in the day. Good. Well, I had I shot rimfire, and I had a fair, I think I finished fourth out of, 12, 15 of us. I don't remember how, there wasn't a huge amount. There's usually a lot more for rimfire one, but I was pretty happy with the guys I got beaten by. They're pretty good shooters. So their guys are usually sitting up the pointy end anyway, so I got no problems losing to those guys. And I had a bit of an average day on a couple of stages where, because I was squad mumming it as well, and so and we were in small squads, which threw me, which I like, but it threw me because you'd go, all right, I'm up in a couple of shooters. Oh no, wait, no, I'm on now. Right, I thought I had a few more shooters to get ready, but anyway, it was good. Good course of fire, it was good fun. All sorts of interesting stuff. Trying to shoot off pallet. The first pallet you could only be touching the gun on, and the second pallet, stage brief said you may only be touching the shooter on it. It didn't say you had to be on it, so shot prone, my elbow on it. And, and looked at the match director and said, "You might just want to tighten up your stage briefs a little bit." But anyway, that's that's good fun. So, and then from there on in, I think everyone shot prone after that one.
Yeah, it's always the first guy that everyone looks at and goes,
Yeah.
"Shit, why didn't I think of that?"
Just for the uneducated, what is a squad mum?
A squad mum. A squad mum is someone who looks after the squad, who will give them their stage briefs. In a smaller competition, you won't necessarily have ROs and stage officers who are running everything for you. In a smaller crew where everyone wants to be able to shoot, your squad mums are sort of designated guys who've been doing it a bit, and they'll sort of coordinate spotting and stage briefs and just make sure everyone's cycled through. But generally, they'll also shoot themselves. You try to be a bit more organised and like a couple of you usually try and have 2 squad mums in a squad, and then that way, like Andy, you and I were squad mums last time around.
I helped out with scoring and a bit of spotting.
Yep.
Well, I think you shot and someone else.
Yeah,
I rode. Yeah.
Yeah, Nick, I think, did
Yeah.
actually in our squad. But just means you share all the responsibilities around a bit and you get other people to do it. So why is it squad mumming? I don't know. That's what the crew that we shot with in the US, or several crews in the US we shot with, call it squad mums rather than squad. I guess squad dads would probably be off doing some project somewhere else or something. Don't know.
So is there varying degrees of squad mum, like squad helicopter mum, squad tiger mum?
Yes, all these things are a terminology we use in PRS.
I reckon the helicopter squad mum would be the one that just walks around pointing fingers, just delegating. Is that the helicopter one?
No, I think it just hovers around and be's annoying.
Yeah.
So,
Like Nick.
I was waiting for a name to get dropped there. I was going to call Nick the Hurricane Squad mum, but
That too. Yeah, there's good stiff competition on that one.
yeah, I reckon I'll be the Lightning Squad mum that never hits the same place twice. Go with that.
Yeah, no,
That's
that's the winner. That's the winner.
Any other squad mum types?
Not that I'm willing to say while I'm being recorded.
We can edit it, but we won't.
Oh, we would.
Oh, good. Well, speaking of squad mums, did any of you guys get done for April Fools in the shooting industry? How's that new 7.6 Creedmoor going that you bought, Dutchy?
I'm still waiting for the dies. I spoke to Hornady and they said, "Oh my God, like why? What are you doing?" And I said, "No, I want it. I really want it." And I'm trying to get a petition going for the 7.62 Creed. No, was it 7.6 Creed?
I'm glad you're on the ball with it.
No,
they started
if
making
they're going to release it, like,
Yeah.
there's people who are interested. I'm sure I can
Clearly
sell
from
lots of them.
From the comments, there was a lot of people who were interested and a lot of people against it.
Have they started making the high BC projectiles for those yet?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, all projectiles are high BC if you put them in backwards.
Well, there's 155s. They could be pretty well up there.
Yeah, that was Berger, wasn't it? Was making 155s?
I think there's a few people.
Yeah. Okay. No, haven't seen them yet. Got a whole stack of
I was
147
more
ELDs in projectile warehouse. Just putting it out there.
I was more concerned if it was a large rifle primer or a small one. I was concerned about pressure.
Yeah. Yeah, you look like a kind of guy who's concerned about pressure.
Yeah. But yeah, like I said, if anyone's keen to jump on board this petition to get them to actually release them, I'll probably send you a link. Never.
Good. I can't wait. Hey Siri, set a reminder for never.
Set your own reminder.
Okay, well we'll move on from that then. Yeah, 7.62. No, 7.6. I can't even remember what it was. 7.6 Creedmoor. Got a lot of people. It was good. You guys have all got Cobras on your scopes now, I assume as well.
Yeah, I'm pretty keen to get one. Yeah.
Which is basically Siri for a scope.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hopefully you saw that from Bronte. Any other ones that you guys saw? Nods don't work on podcasts there, Andy. You can't shake your head and have people know what
More
you're
of
talking
a
about.
visual cue straight to you.
Yeah, you're right. It's a little bit more visual. That's why I brought it up.
Yeah.
Was that an April Fool's?
Nodding your head.
No, not nodding your head. The Creed.
The Creed. Yeah. This is that moment where he discovers that it was a joke.
Is that why they were saying check the date, dude?
Yeah, check the date.
What's the date on that one?
What's the date?
Yeah, what's the date?
Yeah.
Oh.
And then you're in Australia going 2nd of April. What's
2nd of April. Give me that Creed. Give me that Creed.
Yep.
Damn
Good.
time zone.
Mm.
Did you see anything from the American Rifle series? That I can imagine them putting something up.
Yeah, I don't remember if they did something specifically for that. I mean, we can check it out. I mean, I think they're like an April Fool's every day of the week.
Yeah.
I'm not sure they limit themselves to one day a year.
Maybe they do it in reverse. Maybe
it's
they're actually
probably-
serious on April the 1st.
Well, let's see what they put up on April 1st and see if it's actually probably is a legit post. And everyone just laughed at it, and they're sitting in their corner crying about it. No, they didn't post, which, well played, ARS. Well played to not post on the day that everyone thinks you should. Or maybe do something serious, and it's probably a cry for help. Anyway, Dutchy, you seem to be working on projects recently
Yes, I have been.
that we haven't been updating listeners on, but we intend to update listeners on some of the projects of you that you're working on, is what I mean to say.
It's a personal project. I've been working on myself for a while.
Good. How are you coming along?
Not very well.
At least you're
Just
honest.
seems to reject everything I do to it.
Your honesty is right up there, though. I'll give you that.
It's because you don't know me.
So, what gun-related projects have you been working on, or project? Give us one.
I
Haven't
have
got
been
all night. Hurry up.
restoring a 22. It's a 1960s model Creco. Someone did some checkering with a
Sledgehammer.
shovel of some description by the look of it. I think it was about, I don't know, what do they measure it in? Threads per inch or checkerings per inch?
Let's go with
I don't know,
checkerings.
but it's
per
like
inch.
20 or 30 on a good rifle. This is about 4. So I've been touching the rifle up and inlaying some walnut on it. So
Okay.
that's been my project.
Wow.
It's coming along. It's in its early stages at the moment.
Yeah, nice. We might have to get a photo up of that somewhere, because I saw it a few weeks ago and it looked like you've been busy.
I have been busy. It's taken a lot of hours that I probably should have spent doing something more constructive.
Like going shooting, perhaps.
Yeah, well, I don't have my 22. See, that's the catch. And
I see your point. I see
dare
your
I
dilemma.
say, a catch 22. Come on, I thought I would have at
yeah,
least
sorry.
deserved a dun, dun, dun.
I hit the wrong button. I'm sorry. I went to go with this one.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Jeez, no, I don't want to talk anymore. You can jam your interview.
I didn't realise there was an interview. All good. Cool. So how long, what have you got left to do in that process? Clearly still researching the topic at present.
Yeah, there's a lot of research into it.
Okay.
I'm learning about tropical woods, the effects of carbon in the air on those woods. I really just
Wow.
branched out and got off topic
Yep.
on a tangent.
Good.
And now I'm looking at the properties of ABS plastic.
Okay. That's you've definitely moved on. Definitely moved on from timber.
Oh, the timber. I guess I've moved on to the point of now do I use oil stain or is it veneer? I don't know, because whoever had done the stock before had it's committed some gunsmithing crimes, I believe.
Oh, we know a few people like that.
So I'm really just trying to get it back to a stage where I can make it look something decent, and really bring out the grain in this timber that I've put on there.
But the stock design you were going for, at least certainly last time I saw it, was quite like a chunky forehand, chunky grip.
Yes,
Yeah, very different to what it would have been
well, it
originally.
originally had a hunter profile,
Yeah.
I suppose you would say, with a fairly thin forehand and a thin palm swell, and I've probably
More palmless swell.
palm concave, palm oil. I don't know. What are we gonna palm tree, palm nut?
Tree's generous.
We could do
Palm
that.
twig.
Yeah, no, I've it's probably twice the thickness it was now at the forend and at the at the palm, more of a target design, I suppose. It was modelled off a few different stocks, I suppose.
Okay.
Stock designs, T4 manners.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I owned one of those for another rifle and had a look at that and took a few of their ideas of having a wider forend and
Not sure you're allowed to admit that, but anyway. That's all right.
It's not for commercials, so it doesn't matter. And when they see how poorly executed it's been, they'll just be like, this has got nothing to do with us.
They'll
clearly.
be like, send it to us, we'll fix it.
Well, no, I like my uniquely poorly styled stuff.
Good.
No, that's just basically looks nothing like a T4.
Good.
Is it just the stock you're working on, or is it part of the barrel?
Well, it's part of an overall restoration. I'd re-blew it as well.
Going all out.
Yeah, going all out.
So what's the end game? What's the intended purpose of it?
Win
after
everything.
to work.
Well, that's always a good start. That's always a good start. But, you know,
I like how we've answered, Andy, because we've got nothing in the game. Dutchy, all yours, mate. Sorry, we've got.
The end game is to get rid of the checkering attempt.
So is it, what are you setting it up for a particular purpose, or is it just a project because, projects are fun?
I really set it up just to get rid of the checkering. I was embarrassed to pull it out of the gun bag in front of people. I'm like, I didn't do this checkering, by the way, but people wouldn't even ask. I'd offer.
So, yeah, I'm pretty sure he did that with his knife at home.
Yeah. Everyone's just silently judging you.
Oh, well, they should stop being silent because I love retorts.
Oh, speaking of retorts, that's a really bad segue into our Patreon supporters. Sorry, Patreon supporters. But massive thanks to them because effectively what was a bit of a break for us, although we did have a few episodes in the US, and there is more to come. We have had our Patreon supporters continue. So thanks heaps. One of the things that you've contributed to is our brand new mixing desk, our Rode. I think it's called a Rodecaster. Although, how do you say Rode, Dutchy?
Well, if it's got a line through the O, doesn't it sound different?
Well, I don't know. I'm asking you. How is it said?
I don't know. I'm not.
Okay.
I'm not Scandinavian, but I would assume it would be Rude.
All right. So, Rude mixing desk, which is wonderful and makes certainly things a little bit easier, and has these buttons which we promise we won't overuse.
Wah.
I promise we won't overuse them. Okay, no, we definitely will overuse them, but we're going to be able to put other stuff and bits and pieces on there. And Bronte came up
just
with
for the listeners at home, that the buttons are away from the three of us, and Rusty has got a monopoly on
I've got
them.
complete control over these, and definitely when we bust out some jokes, we can get some good responses. That's not the one I was looking for.
I think you're looking for the dum dum dum.
I was going to go with crickets, but what is this one? Oh, we can. So speaking of that,
Why wasn't that at the start of my project? So I hear you're doing a project.
so a couple of weeks ago, we had the PRS up in Mildura. Andy, take us back.
Well, once upon a time.
No, okay, quite seriously, we will not be using the effects. I'm just like a kid in a candy store tonight with all these glowing buttons. I mean, I'll put a photo up of these damn buttons, but they're very attractive, and you can change the color of the buttons really easily as well. This is such a bad idea.
Rusty, please tell me
Yeah.
you've got the foghorns.
Oh, I don't, but I will.
Yep.
I don't. Next episode featuring whatever that sound is called, foghorns, the big club sound. Yeah.
That's the one.
Yeah, just for you, mate. Just
Cheers.
for you. But no, we're not going to turn into like a FM type, whiz bang type show. Don't worry. We're getting excited tonight. We will get on to the PRS shortly. I just not quite yet. But we had a question. We're talking about Patreon supporters. That's how we got onto this topic. We had a question from a new Patreon supporter, actually our newest Patreon supporter, Matty. He has started episode 1 3 weeks ago and he's up to 91. Clearly he spends a lot of time in the car or doing something because that's 30 episodes a week.
That's commitment.
Matty, what are you doing? That's unsustainable. Move on. But appreciate you being a Patreon supporter. Has 2 questions that I'd like your points of view on. Number 1, rifle weight. The general consensus is that 5.5 to 6 kilos is up there by Australian standards. It's interesting to know. But every American you've spoken to is quoting rigs in the 18 to 20 pound range, which is the 8.2 to 9 kilo range. Even Paul Reed said he had to remove weights from his PRS rifle to get under the 22 pound 10K limit for the long range cash prize shoot. So what would his normal operating weight be? 11, 12, 13 kilos? Crikey. That's what he says. So we'll leave it at that for the moment. Well, there's a second question there. We'll come to that. What are you guys running for your weights for your PRS type, compy type guns? Because the general consensus of a 5.5 to 6 kilo rifle is not something I'm super familiar with, because most of mine weigh more than that.
Mine would be in the 20 pound range. It's up there, 8-9 kilos.
Yeah.
Scope is, the Gen 2 razors. They are
Kilo-ish. Yep.
pretty weighty.
Yep.
Then running a heavy varmint barrel.
Yep.
That is quite weighty,
Yes.
to say
Yep.
the least. I've got that about 26-ish inches at the moment, and
Okay.
then the action's got a reasonable chunk to it,
Yep.
and aluminium chassis as well. So it is a heavy rig. Not very much fun to shoot freehand, I must admit, but off a barricade
Who would
or
ever have to do that?
somewhere stable, it is
Yeah.
sensational.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Andy, do you know what yours?
Oh, I'm just trying to look it up at the moment. Obviously, I'm running the factory TAC A1. I can't seem to. Oh, here we go. 5.1 kilos, and then
Just bare gun.
bare
rifle,
gun. So yeah, plus the scope and the mount and
bipod, and
yeah, the bits
your-
and pieces on there. So probably up around the six and a bit.
Okay. Yeah. Would you make it heavier?
I don't think I would. I like the fact that I can move it around a bit quicker.
Okay.
And handle it with one hand or one arm easily.
Yep.
If I've got to then grab a bag or a support and manipulate the rifle with one arm. Yeah, I think. Yeah. I think you having a larger muzzle brake on the end obviously helps. If you didn't have a good working muzzle brake, you'd probably want a heavier rifle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I had a bit of a play with one of those TAC A1s in New Zealand as well as on the weekend, and I found them.
You sound so disappointed.
No, they're a ridiculously accurate rifle, which is really annoying because you can buy them off the shelf and you don't have to do anything, and they just
And they work. They do.
And that's really disappointing to someone who spent so much time and effort trying to get a gun that should work that doesn't really want to work. But I found them to be a little back heavy. I would have thought that if you sort of had maybe up the profile a fraction on the, well, actually when you put a suppressor on the end, it was sensational because that balanced it out nicely. But that's not really an option here in Australia for most people.
Yeah, but they weren't necessarily designed for a market, so perhaps that's
Yeah,
part of
I mean,
part of
the one that
original
was
design.
used in New Zealand had the AMG on it and one of the locally made suppressors, and that was that balanced very, very nicely.
Okay.
I'm struggling with that. I've tried a couple of bags and just resting it on a barricade, and I've found I've had to make some sort of little strap that goes over the front, the foregrip to try and
because it just wants to drop at the back.
Yeah,
that's
just to sort of hold the front end down.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think my rifle is probably in the 20 plus pounds. It would be weighted fairly heavy. It's got a pretty big fat barrel on it. And the new one that I'll eventually build, there may be some changes on that, which one day we'll get into. But anyway, we'll talk about that in time. That will also have some weight options in it, and probably some adjustable weight options, which certainly is a big trend we saw. If you've seen any of our videos from SHOT, for some reason we did a stack of videos with action or chassis manufacturers, and not a whole lot else. But yeah, there certainly is a big trend into adjustable weight systems and being able to put weights on and moving them from front to back or whatever it may be. And yeah, heavier is seeming to be the way.
kind of makes sense though, the adjustable weights, because if you're if you look at the precision rifle products, the bullpup, if you've ever shot one of those freehand, it's so bloody nicely because that weight is so much back close to your shoulder. The center of gravity is closer in between your supports, and it's quite a lot nicer to shoot freehand. And that's where your TAC A1 will shoot nicer freehand than perhaps say mine does, which is more centrally balanced, if anything, muzzle heavy.
Yeah.
it kind of shooting freehand sucks with that because
Okay.
it's so much weight out further. So if you had the ability to move that weight around in the rifle, it's definitely an advantage.
Yeah, and it's certainly there is a not a kickback. There's a trend perhaps that I'm seeing anyway, and not taking all of it into account, but there's a bit of a trend where more and more of the stages, the course of fire, are heading back towards the movement stuff and shooting a bit of freehand. There was a lot more freehand and unsupported stuff at Mildura than there has been at sort of PRS matches before, and that stuff is becoming more tested. And I think that's because of there's been this real sort of shift towards heavy guns. And because, you put a heavy gun somewhere, it just stays wherever you put it. It's just, it gets really stable really quickly.
Put a big muzzle brake on it, shooting a 6mm.
There's not a lot going
Not much
back.
moves.
That's right. And so I think that the counteracting effect is that match directors may, and certainly from what I see are, moving towards, you got to move your gun here and then move your gun here and then move your gun here and maybe a bit more unsupported to offset that. You rather than putting equipment restrictions, because PRS doesn't like equipment restrictions, it likes to leave it open, which is wonderful, but there's a reason most other sports have some sort of equipment restriction on weight and bits and pieces, is to even that playing field. And so, the way you even it in PRS is your match directors get more creative one way or the other. And so certainly to see that happen a little bit more, both here and in the US, is certainly, we'll see how it goes. I don't know if we've actually answered the question at all. What was the question?
What sort of weights we run?
Yeah. She didn't really ask a question. You just said that there was, it was heavier in the US. It's true. And there's reasons as to why. And the big thing is, as I'm sure we've alluded to, but is real common out there, is PRS is very much a recall management game for a lot of it. So the heavier your gun, the more recall you manage. And so, that's why you see the weights. But as stages get more movement in them, that's the balance. And you're not running okay with your gun. Not yet, anyway, suckers. No, you're not running okay with your gun, and so you don't have to worry about like the transition weight, but it is weight throughout the movement of your course, and that's where an unsupported stage can become quite challenging.
Particularly if you've got a longish string of unsupported shots where you're actually having to hold it up there for, you pick it up, hold it there for 10 seconds, that's fine. You hold it there for a minute and you'll soon start complaining.
Very true. So there's the other question there as well. Come to terms with not removing copper from the bore, but surely there must be some element of crap removal. I'm not going to leave powder residue in the barrel. So is just a dry patch the go, or what is the consensus on getting the visible carbon fouling out? Interested to hear your thoughts, or maybe you're not. Dutchy, any thoughts on cleaning? What do you do? I'm going to guess you're a bit more traditional.
I can't be cleaning most of the time, to be honest.
Hence the restoration.
So you are quite traditional. Okay, good.
If it starts, if accuracy goes real bad, I guess.
Yep.
But it depends what you're shooting, because that said,
Rifles generally.
oh, very clever. Because if you shoot, that being said, I shoot a 300 Ultra Mag as well,
Sure.
and the cleaning process on that is different to high volume shooting, where I
So what's
really
the
don't
process
care
on
about.
your rum then?
I spend a lot more time keeping it clean, keeping the throat clean
You take copper out? Do you?
to a certain degree.
Yep.
But not. I don't remove all of it completely, because
Mhm.
then it's just got to be laid back in there again to get it shooting consistently. So,
Okay.
but with high volume stuff like my 223, 308, I clean it so it doesn't rust, and that's about it.
Nice. Andy, what about you, mate? Where you stand on this situation?
Yeah, I guess when I first started shooting, I made sure that thing was spotless
Yep.
after every time, and it was just getting a bit pedantic and a bit full on. So now, after reading a few things, I've decided to go with the strip back sort of method, I guess, where I might just run one patch of solvent.
Yep.
and then a few dry or clean ones to just patch that out, and then maybe one patch of oil, and that's pretty much just to get rid of the powder fouling. I'll try and leave the copper in there as much as I can, and then I'm also shooting quite regularly as well.
Okay. Yep.
So for me to do a thorough clean all the time, it would,
You're not worried about it rusting up because you're going to
No.
be using it again in a few weeks.
well, that's it. I mean, when was Mildura? That was a week ago.
It feels like it's nearly 2.
2 weeks, almost 2 weeks ago. I only just cleaned that on Sunday.
Yep.
So,
but had you been able to make it out on the weekend,
I wouldn't have cleaned it.
Yeah, wouldn't have cleaned it because it would have been 2 weeks between shoots. Yeah.
And and just with the climate, I probably wouldn't have imagined much rust or anything building up at that point.
Sure.
And just for the listeners, what cartridge are you shooting?
6.5 crude.
Not 7.6.
I wish I could.
Don't we all?
We're starting a petition, so I have.
Bronte, what about you on the cleaning front, mate? Is this, you're pretty switched on scientific engineering type bloke. Where does this all sit for you?
I felt guilty the other day.
Okay.
I'd put 1,500 rounds through my competition gun without touching it or doing any cleaning at all.
Yep.
So I kind of unscrewed the muzzle brake and discovered there was quite a lot of carbon build up there and cleaned that off. But that was about it, really. I
And
don't clean my guns.
No more guilt?
No, I felt better after that because I'd done something. I mean, I thought I did run a couple patches through it just to see what it's like. Then I stuck a bore scope down it, and it was pretty well clean, basically. There was nothing actually, there's no significant carbon buildup or copper. So whether it's just the case of I've got a good barrel that doesn't want to foul, I really just don't clean my guns. I've got a dehumidifier in the safe, and that sort of takes care of the corrosion side of things. Obviously, you need the moisture to facilitate that, but
Yeah.
we're in a dry climate as well, which helps.
Yeah, that's true.
With muzzle brakes, what sort of process do you go through them? Because I don't clean mine. I just rely on that first shot that cleans it out.